There's a quirk of cruelty about sending Tottenham back to the Metropolitano for the first time right now, rekindling glories of their recent past at the time when they really should be buckling down in a fight to escape relegation. As if someone at UEFA has acquired a dark sense of humor. Not 7 years have passed since Spurs played Liverpool in the Champions League final at the home of Atletico Madrid. Not only the high-water mark of the Mauricio Pochettino era, also the beginning of the end for him and top of a steep decline. This fixture is a brutal reminder of how far they have slid and how fast. Pochettino was fired within 6 months, and in truth the descent was underway before that night of tears in the Spanish capital at the hands of Liverpool. Apart from last year's Europa League triumph, however, 6.5 years since that final has been something of a mess. 5 permanent managers have had a crack at since Pochettino's exit, but Spurs returned to the Metropolitano for this Champions League tie under the control of Igor Tudor, who recorded 3 defeats in his first 3 games and whose interim tenure has a whiff of Christian Stellini about it. Stellini survived only 4 games, sacked after a humiliating 6-1 defeat at Newcastle in April 2023, and it all seemed like high farce at the time. Spurs, though, were sitting 5th in the Premier League when Ryan Mason was summoned for the second time from his backroom duties to lead them over the line. Those heady heights have faded quickly into the distance. They are 5th from the bottom and only a point above the relegation zone with 9 to play. It is difficult to work out if the Champions League is welcome respite from the misery of 11 games without a win in the Premier League or an unnecessary distraction from the crucial business of not going down. Tudor views it as something of a bonus, both a rare free hit in terms of repercussions and a chance to work competitively on things ahead of Sunday at Liverpool. "Our first aim is Premier League and this needs to be said publicly," said the interim boss. "That doesn't mean we don't want to go to the next round. Every game is important. We have to grow so it can be an opportunity. A totally different competition against a team with Champions League history, experience and quality. Maybe this can help us to see the problems we have. These kinds of games can help us to switch in the right way, grow as a team, do things better." Spurs have managed to shed their Premier League problems in Europe this season, losing only 1 of 8 in the opening phase of Champions League games to qualify for the last 16 in 4th. A positive display against Atletico might just inspire and restore some belief. Another heavy defeat, however, against a team who are 3rd in Spain's La Liga and have scored 15 in their last 4 home games will do nothing for their fragile confidence. Spurs are leaky, conceding 9 in Tudor's 3 games against Arsenal, Fulham and Crystal Palace. "We never like losing," said Pedro Porro when asked about his tantrum on the bench after being replaced against Palace. "We always want to do our best and the past few weeks have not gone our way, they have not gone as we expected and we just need to keep going until the end and do the best we can." This is some good news for Tudor in the shape of defensive reinforcements. Christian Romero, who has been serving a 4-match ban in domestic football, is available for the first time since before Thomas Frank's sacking a month ago to play against a team with whom he has been linked in the transfer market. Mickey van de Ven, sent off against Crystal Palace on Thursday and set to miss Sunday's game at Liverpool through suspension, can play in Europe. And defenders Radu Dragusin, who did not play against Palace, and DJ Spence, who has missed the last 2 with a calf injury, are both back.